If you are feeling lost and disconnected from your life, it's not because you don't have purpose. It's because you've been told and programmed to move further away from your purpose in life. Us as children, we were born with like the deepest soul possible. And we actually already knew our purpose that was set out for us in life. We are just around so many things, people, opinions, and we're exposed to so many senses that deter us from living the purpose in life that we were actually meant to live. I studied so hard for 7 years and worked myself to the absolute bone to become a registered nurse. I worked as an assistant in nursing, I worked as an endorsed enrolled nurse, and then I worked as a registered nurse, only to start my career as a registered nurse and have it end more quickly than how long it actually took me to study in that field. I felt so misaligned and disconnected from my true purpose and calling as a woman, to be a nurturer, to be a lover, to feel independence, to feel safety, and to feel peace in my life, because I was constantly stressed and operating from such a high emotional state where my nervous system was like drilled into the ground. I felt misaligned and disconnected from myself, from my partner, from my family, and from my friends. And it was all because I was too scared just to stand up and be like, hey, this isn't what I want to do. This isn't the vision that I have for myself. It's not the vision that I have for my future children. It's not the vision that I have for my future husband. It's just not the vision that I have for myself. Us as women, we are such nurturing beings where, we're here to love and reproduce and build new life. And we can't do that when we're operating from a state that is misalignment. We wonder why, fertility is like decreasing and women are struggling more and more so than ever. And I honestly put it down to our environment and the life that we are creating for ourselves. Instead of living in peace and in comfort and in true alignment, we're living in a stressed out, anxious environment, all because we feel we have to fulfill the need and the purpose of the people, things, opinions, and influence around us. And we don't. And I don't want you to be scared to make change in your life. Like I said, I studied and I worked for 7 years in healthcare, only to quickly change my career after I became fully qualified as an emergency registered nurse, which I thought was my dream passion. And I had so much withhold against making this decision because I was so petrified to let other people around me down more than myself. And this is a trait that I know I personally carry all the time with so many decisions that I make, and it's something I still work on every single day to become better at. Because what I want to share with you is that it doesn't matter what you do in this world, you are the only person who can give yourself true peace, true alignment, true clarity, true purpose, true independence. There is no man, no woman, no child, no career that can ever provide that for you. What can happen is when you act in alignment with yourself and you follow your true vision and mission and you start to feel fulfillment in what you're doing, all of these other pieces of your life will start to fall into place. And that's exactly what happened to me. I was scared because I had never been an entrepreneur. I had never run a business. All I ever knew was working in retail or working in healthcare, because that's all I did, because it's all that I was exposed to. And it's not bad because it got me to the point of where I am right now today. But without me leaning in and really asking myself, what is it that I want from this life and how do I want my life to look, I wouldn't have made the changes that I did to end up in this position. And I was scared, right? In March of 2024, my partner and I decided that we wanted to move overseas to Bali and give online a crack. And my partner, for those of you who don't know, he has been an entrepreneur for 10 plus years. And with that, he has so much exposure and he has so much clarity and purpose in what he was doing. I was scared. I felt like I was starting all over again, and I was fearful of judgment, and I was fearful of failure. But then I told myself, I put so much time and energy and effort and emotion into being a registered nurse. I was working 60+ hour weeks, guys. I wasn't sleeping. I was barely eating. I wasn't training. I wasn't spending time with my family. And I just said to myself, if I just put the time I'm already putting into being a nurse, into learning what it takes to be an entrepreneur, to be a CEO, what is the worst thing that's going to happen to me? Nothing. I will just go back to being a nurse, right? What is the absolute worst thing that's going to happen to me? And when I did that and I trusted that and I literally put the same amount of energy, effort, love, passion into learning what it takes to become an entrepreneur, I became so successful in what I did. And yeah, I was working in the shadow of my partner. And I strongly believe that every woman needs to have a level of independence. I don't think that we should rely on anyone or anything to build our dream life. We have to do it ourselves. I am happily engaged, guys. I love my fiance more than anything. He is the biggest provider known to mankind, but I am still hungry and determined to live my purposeful, independent life the way that I want to, right? And that's what I want you to start to think about and start to lean into. Don't look for someone else to fulfill what it is that you're trying to fulfill. Go and do it yourself. You are the most important person in your life, in this one life that you were given, right? So when I took all the time, energy, emotion, and effort and put from what I would put into being a nurse into learning how to become a CEO and entrepreneur, I was shocked at how much I was able to grow and develop as an individual, right? I was shocked at how much more information and skills I was being exposed to and I was able to learn. And I was incredibly empowered by this. So empowered that I stopped working in my partner's business and built my own. I built my own goddamn business after being a nurse for 7 years. Was it terrifying? Absolutely. But what I told myself is that nothing can cause me to fail except myself. So I acted in alignment with where I wanted to be. I want to be a stay-at-home mom who still works, who still makes her own income, who can go and get her hair done and her nails done and have massages and travel whenever she wants. That's the woman I want to be. And only I am the woman that can get me that result. There is no one else or nothing else in this world that's going to fulfill that. I thought that stability and predictability and independence came from working in a government career, let alone was it complete opposite. I actually suffered an injury as a nurse when I was on the floor, and I didn't get paid. I didn't get offered a different type of role so I could keep working and earning an income. And I was studying my bachelor's degree at the time. So I was just like left high and dry. We look for stability and we look for predictability in things that don't have that, because it's the opinions around us that force us to believe that that is the only way. It is not the only way. Us as women, we are so determined. We are, the lovers and the nurturers, like I was talking about, and use that drive that you have and put it into something that's going to help you build the life that you want. I built CEO Foundations with the one mission, and yes, I serve men and women because Nathan and I run this business together, but me individually with the one purpose and mission to show women that they too can create and live their own life that fulfills them in complete alignment with their values and the way that they want to see life lay out for them. Right? And when you channel what it is that is actually important to you and what life actually looks like at the end of time for you, you will find that you have all the time in the world to learning what it is that you need to learn. You'll have all the energy and the effort that you can really put into becoming the woman you need to become to have the things that you crave to have. Don't get me wrong, there are things that you have to go through and it doesn't come easy, but that's just like anything. Nursing didn't come easy to me. Yeah, I studied for 7 years. 7 years is a long time. I went through a lot of emotional trauma, mental trauma, stress. I went through burnout, breakdown. I nearly, lost my relationship with Nathan to my career because I wasn't who I was actually trying to be. I was just became this shell of a person for my career. And it's not something that anyone should have to go through. No man, no woman. But unfortunately, it is what we allow ourselves to succumb to because of the opinions and the environment and the senses that we're exposed to. So if you can really sit with yourself and think, I want to be a woman who has social connection, who has purpose, who has peace, who has alignment. You want those things. You are the only person who can go and get them. And it's so much easier than you think. All you have to do is devote the time that you devote to your already beloved career and put that energy, time, and focus into where you really want to go, and anything can honestly become possible for you. I just got off the most incredible call with the women inside of CEO Foundations yesterday, where we were focusing on setting goals, personal goals, business goals, revenue goals, how many clients we want to serve, what capacity do we have to serve. We're not just about pushing numbers and a quick win. We're about acting in alignment with your true purpose, your true vision, and your true mission as an entrepreneur. And we value ourselves on making sure that we don't act out of alignment with who we want to be and where our vision is, because that only pulls us further away from the person that we're trying to become. And this call was so electric. It was like women acting in alignment with each other, creating such massive purpose with goals and values and revenue goals. Watching other people in this space be able to, leave their job, move into their first home, travel Europe whilst working online. That is my true purpose in life. Being able to see other women do exactly what it is that I set out to do from the beginning. Your goals will always change as you grow, but that's good. It means that you're getting uncomfortable. It means that you're learning something new and you're upskilling yourself to the point where you become more valuable. We spend so much time giving our time and energy to other people. What about giving that back to yourself? Putting that into a vehicle that's going to get you the result that you're after in life. Not just financially, not just successfully, but just in life. In life, I want you to ask yourself, what is it that you want? What is important to you? What will actually give you true purpose and fulfillment? And lean into that. Ask yourself, what can I do? What can I put my time that I'm already putting into something else, into bringing this to life? Once you can get clear on what that looks like to you and how to fully act in alignment with yourself, to give yourself peace, to give yourself independence, that's when you'll start building something that's real for you. And that's when you'll start acting in alignment with the person that you want to be.